Welcome to MMS News. I'm your host, Ellie B, and today we got some fresh news stories straight from the 8B classroom. First up, we got a story from Henry A about why the leaves change color. Enjoy.
Mountain Middle School. I'm currently in 8th grade.
Hey Peter, what is your favorite part of fall?
I like many things. To start, I like the cooler temperatures and how ski season is quickly approaching. I also like how the leaves change color into the beautiful colors we see.
Okay Peter, why do you think the leaves change color in fall?
I feel like the leaves change color because the trees have a lot of chlorophyll inside of them, and as the nights get longer and the days get shorter, the amount of chlorophyll inside of them decreases, which results in the leaves changing color into the colors we see today.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye!
Mr. Porter, why do you like fall?
I like fall because I really enjoy the cooler temperatures, and I especially like the foods that go with fall.
Why do you think the leaves change color during fall?
Now, keeping in mind that I teach humanities, not science, my understanding is the leaves change because the color of the leaves, the yellows and reds, is actually the real color of the leaves, but they're covered in, wait for it, chlorophyll, which is green. As the nights get longer, the days get shorter, and the temperatures get colder, the chlorophyll drains out, and the leaves reveal their natural colors. And that is why I believe the leaves change colors when it's fall. Plus, they can.
Thank you, Mr. Porter.
You're welcome.
Hello, Jack. What is your favorite part of fall?
Probably cross country or like the air and the leaves and stuff.
Why do you think that the leaves change color during fall?
Because they want to change colors before they die.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
The real reason leaves change color is because they're full of chlorophyll during the summer, which is green. And as the lights get longer and colder, the chlorophyll goes away.
Wow, wasn't that riveting? Have you ever been down on ideas? Well, this next story from Katie about inspiration should be able to help you out.
Hi, I'm Katie, and this is my show on inspiration. In order to light inspiration in others, I decided to ask some of my fellow students their thoughts on inspiration and creativity. I have heard people say that they can't find inspiration. They say it's because they're not artistic or don't like to be creative. But you always have to remember that inspiration can be anything from the Mona Lisa to pushing yourself past your limits, physically or mentally.
My name is Cooper, and I enjoy art a lot because it just makes me feel happy, and it's just a really fun thing to do, and I'm an artistic person.
Don't you just feel so inspired? While we're on the topic of art, Nicole and Mariella have a story for us about the Navajo arts.
Hello, I am Mariella Benali.
And I'm Nicole Bauer.
And we're here to talk about Navajo stories. We are going to start with the first story, First Woman and Coyote. One night, Coyote came across First Woman placing the stars. Coyote asked First Woman if he can place a star. She said no. He kept on asking and asking until she said yes. Okay, place this star here and this star here. Don't switch them. They must go there and there, First Woman said as she gave the 2 stars to Coyote. He began climbing up the ladder, but Wind Boy began blowing on him. So he put both stars in one pot and continued. When he got up, he mixed up the stars. So he guessed and placed the 2 stars in the wrong spot. When he got down, First Woman yelled at him, "You fool! You doomed us all! That was meant to bring peace and prosperity. Now it means war and destruction!" Coyote was mad. He grabbed her blanket of stars and threw them into the sky.
Spider-Woman and the Rocks. One day, Spider-Woman was looking for food and the people saw her do so and made fun of her for it. Spider-Woman, enraged, collapsed the rocks on the Hogons. The people begged her to remove the rocks. She agreed, and she used her webs and pulled the rocks back up and said, "If these rocks fall, that means the culture is dying." And one day, the rocks fell, and the culture went with it, hanging by only a few strings of web.
The burning. During the Great Depression, the Navajos were thriving. The government got mad at that, so they dug pits by the Hogons and had the Navajos put their sheep and goats in the pit. The Americans put gasoline on the sheep and goats, then burned them alive in front of their owners, including the kids, then burned their peach fields down.
The Crows and the Coyote. One day, Coyote was wandering the mesa. He found the crows atop of the plateau, doing their dance and flying along. Mr. Coyote climbed the plateau and waited for the crows to come land. When they did, he asked, "May I dance and fly with you?" "We will let you fly and dance with us," the crow leader said as he turned to his brothers and sisters. "Let's give him a flight feather from each of our right wing," he said. Each crow plucked their feathers and stuck them into his arms. The crows and the coyote danced together. Coyote danced out of line with the crows, irritating some of them, but alas, they flew together. But Coyote could not fly right. "Slow down, I can't keep up," Coyote cries. "We must stable him. Take a left wing flight feather," the crow leader said. When the crows and the coyote landed and gave them their left wing feathers. At this point, Coyote no longer danced with the crows and had his own annoying the crows, and when they all flew together, Coyote this time was too heavy. "Carry me," Coyote yelled. The crows circled Coyote, but instead of helping him, they took their feathers back and watched him fall. Coyote fell so fast that his tail caught fire, but he landed in a pond on the plateau. He was mad. He ran after the crows, but fell off the plateau, getting red sand all over him. The crows laughed at him, and that's why he has a black tail and the red coat. He never got the sand off.
That was such a wonderful cultural experience. Next up, Izzy's going to take us to our local Sage Farm Fresh Eats to talk about their climate programs.
Well, my name's Carly, and I am one of the owners here at Sage Fresh Eats and Zia Taqueria. Sage is kind of based around the premise of being environmentally sustainable. Restaurants in general can be really tough on the environment. There's a lot of to-go packaging, a lot of waste. From the basics, we do try to use environmentally sustainable packaging and to-go products. We really try to minimize single-use plastic. We recycle, we compost our food waste, things like that. Key thing that Sage does is that we're built around the idea of trying to use as much local products as possible. Using local products does a number of things. Local agriculture replenishes the soil. It creates a healthier ecosystem in our community. It provides better air quality. It supports local families. And the carbon footprint of bringing food to us that's local is much smaller. A lot of what we buy is local, and that's probably the greatest impact that we can have on the environment.
I never knew Sage was doing all that stuff. Next up, we got an update from Sammy on the school's exhibitions.
As we all know, with a new year comes new assignments, but as we move through the grade levels, we aren't really aware of what's happening behind us, so let's find out.
So right now we're in between working on the Native American boarding schools and how we can help that, but also making a better environment for the Native American.
Right now in ELA, we're working on a project called The Evolution of Storytelling, where we're all writing our own stories. Mine is about Greg Heffley going to space and fighting the Rock. So then we're all going to publish these in a book. That's our exhibition.
Currently for 8th grade projects, we are making a TED Talk and performing a chemical reaction live on stage. My name's Samantha Brown, and thanks for watching.
Well, now that Sammy's given us that great update on what's going on at school, we got a story about the Artemis 1 rocket from Will and Cooper W.
This is the Artemis 1 rocket, a rocket that will be used to return humans to the moon. The Artemis 1 is a 322-foot tall rocket with 2 solid rocket boosters and 4 RS-25D rocket motors. The Space Launch System, the SLS, uses liquid oxygen and hydrogen fuel to launch the command module, or Orion, into orbit. Once the rocket escapes the Earth's atmosphere, the solid rocket boosters will jettison. Next, the command module fairings and the emergency escape system will jettison. The Orion will jettison from the SLS and will continue its journey. Once the Orion gets into orbit, it opens its solar panel so it can use solar power from the inside of the rocket instead of battery power. Then the Orion will travel to the moon, wrap around twice, and begin its journey home.
The goal of the Artemis 1 mission is for astronauts to once again reach the moon. After all of Apollo's missions were canceled, we need to return to the moon again as soon as possible. In this clip, you can see the Apollo 1 LM, or LIM, or landing on the moon. This is the last time that humans were able to go to the moon.
This was MMS News. I'm your host, Ellie B. Thanks so much for tuning in.